Greetings, gorgeous beings of light from the spectacular Gold Coast hinterland in Queensland, Australia. My name is Omara, and I'm coming to you today with miracle number 69 in the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project, and the first step in my fifth dimension activation and effortless manifesting quickie. Let's begin by just taking a big breath in through the nose, or a soft, gentle one, but the trick is to follow the breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Letting go of everything that's outside this moment or outside the frequency that is coming through in my voice with all the source codes from the, I don't know, maybe 7 hours of meditation I've just done. So just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you need to yawn, burp, sneeze, fart, do all those things, they're just signs that energy is moving. And you are releasing old stuff that's out of alignment with the source codes that are embedded in my voice. Breathe. Just breathe. And so this morning, when I was meditating, I said to Source, gosh, I think I'm running out of miracles. And they were like, no, you're not. What about this one? What about that one? What about this one? What about that one? And there's so many I haven't told you. I'm now thinking, oh my God, we might have way more than 100. But anyway, today's miracle is about the blue-eyed twins that saved my life, that were angels, and good looking to everybody who could see them. So just stay open. That's the other thing. I want you to stay open. These things have all happened. They've all either happened to myself or my clients. And most of us have been trained to be in touch with like less than 3% of what's possible in our life. And certainly, you know, scientists have now proven that we are 99.39% space. And they used to call it junk space, and only 0.61% physical being, physical matter. But the truth is that 99.39% space is not junk space. It's what connects you to all time and space, all dimensions of light, all universes, galaxies and worlds. And if you can learn to tap into that, it'll dissolve all the poop you got going on in your life. It'll also begin to bring you these magnificent miracles and ways that you will be protected, that you haven't been told that you need insurance for this or insurance for that or whatever. I have not had any insurance for more than 3 decades. Well, I do, but it's called God's Gold Light Insurance. God, can you put lots of gold light around my car and get me wherever I need to go and back again safely? God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around my house and keep it safe until I return? God, can you put lots and lots of gold light around me and keep me safe until I return? And sometimes if you keep that up and you have that belief that you are looked after by higher beings of light, miracles like this one happens when you may be in a spot of bother. So it was a Wednesday night. I had stayed back at work. Well, I hadn't intentionally stayed back, but I must have, because the bus leaves at 5. And it was in wintertime. In wintertime in Queensland, it's not really that cold. So, but I had stayed back because somebody was leaving and I missed the last bus home. And I just decided that it was about 7 o'clock at night. I decided that I would walk home because I only lived a couple of kilometres out of town. So I start my journey home. This is 30 years ago again. So those of you who might come from Brisbane go, oh, she's fibbing. this is what it was like 30 years ago. And I had got to a part up near the transit centre, which is the main train bus into connected place where they all interconnect and come in and etc. etc. And it was called the transit centre up the top of Roma Street, and there was a patch between that and when you got round to gosh, I've always known the name of that street and it's just gone now. It'll come back to me while I'm talking. Where it was probably about, I'm guessing about half a kilometre. That was really dark. There was no lights, and it was walking alongside the railway tracks. Were on the other side of the road, on the right hand side of the road, and there was like more commercial buildings on the left hand side, and it was quite dark. There was not many street lights or whatever, and it wasn't lit up, and there wasn't houses or wasn't really built up. But when I drove past there when I came back to Queensland a couple of years ago, it's definitely different now. It's got a beautiful big flash transit centre, not like the crappy old one that was there 30 years ago. And I'm walking along this area and I spot in front of me a man who's like up in front of me, like quite a way in front of me, but enough for me to work out that it's a man and he's walking in front of me. Now, I'm 5 foot high and I've got little legs. And if you ever see me walking with my taller friends, it always looks like I'm running, trying to keep up with them because I've got little legs. And nobody ever loses time on me. When I'm walking home, people sail past me and just keep on walking and disappear out of sight. Caxton Street was the name of that place. Caxton Street was all lit up with pubs, the Caxton Street pub, and lights and restaurants, etc., etc. So I'm walking around and I'm in this space for about half a kilometre, 3/4 kilometre, where it's just really dark. And this guy up in front of me, I see him turn around and look at me, and I went, that's a bit sus. And then I noticed that the gap between us was getting smaller, not longer, smaller, and he was getting closer and closer, and all of a sudden I was like, still in the dark part of it, still in a part where not many cars are driving past there, not back then anyway, it's 7 o'clock at night. And he's looked back several times then, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble here. Okay, God, can you please get your act together and send me down some light, send me down and help me get to Caxton Street, help me get home safely, help me get to Caxton Street. I immediately feel what I know from even back then and even today, like a pillar of light come down from above and encircle me and go down and into the earth. And I'm just feeling fabulous. I know that God's with me. I'm no longer worried about the prick up ahead, who's still losing time on me. But the next time he turns around and he turns around once, but he turns around and he was close enough for me to see that he had this like gasping look on his face. He turned around and he was like, and I just, because I don't know what he can see until a couple of days later actually, but I just project, because I've done martial arts, I just project a thought into him saying, if you lay a fucking finger on me, I will fucking kill you. And I'm just still in human mode. You lay a fucking finger on me and I'll fucking kill you. And projected that at him. It's a wonder if he's still alive after that. But anyway, he was, and he crosses the road, which, there's just like, that was the one road that went down to the freeway. And there was a building on the corner. And as I'm walking, I walk across the road and he disappears into that building. And as I walk past him, I then turn to the left and look at him in this building and do the same. You come near me and I will, And he's still like there with his mouth open and gaping, looking at me. I then have about 100 metres to make it from that house around the bend to Caxton Street, where it's all lit up like a Christmas tree and there's lots of people and heaps going on in Caxton Street. I know from my martial arts training that you should never look back. So I am just marching as fast as I can, going, please just get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street. I'm still feeling this enormous energy around me. I hear someone toot their horn at me, and I still don't even go, oh, that would be me, that's for me, because I'm just in this, God, please get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street. God, please just get me to Caxton Street mode. Just breathe for me, please. I make it to Caxton Street. Yeah, it's then less than a kilometre home. I just have to go down Caxton Street and then up a side street, and I'm almost home. I lived by the Oval. I lived in this gorgeous house up on a hill. I never once needed a clock because the big Suncorp Stadium clock you could see because we were so far up the hill. And I would get up and meditate because I wanted to hear my guides and angels clearly. I got up and meditate. This was the house I went to after I lived opposite the cemetery. I meditated for 4 hours every day from 4 to 8 in the morning every day because I wanted to hear my guides and angels clearly. And I would just be able to open one eye and see what the time was. If it was getting near to the time that I was meant to be meditating, then I'd run around madly and get ready for work, which I started at 9 a.m. So 3 days a week. So I get home safely and everything's fine. Don't think anything more about it. And the next day when I get to work, some of the girls at work, young girls, like I would have been in my 30s then, so these are like 18, 19 year olds saying, oh, who were those two gorgeous, gorgeous, tall, dark, handsome men with blue eyes? How they could tell that, but it was just on dark. Who were these two tall, dark, handsome men that were walking you home last night? They look like twins. I mean, I don't ridiculous, like, I went, no, seriously, Elle, they were about 6 foot high and they were describing to me and they were all like, oh, he's so lovely, can we meet him, and all that sort of crap. They obviously were young, good-looking men as well. So I just dismiss it. I worked in a place where there wasn't very many aware people there, so... And that's actually, by the way, where I learnt lots and lots of really powerful ways to protect my energy, and I'll share something else with you tomorrow. But it was about a week or so later I bumped into somebody else as well, and they had said to me, hey Elle, who are those two gorgeous spunky men? They look like twins with black hair and blue eyes that were walking with you the other night. And I went, I've heard this story before. What night are you talking about? And they knew the night immediately because they were going to one of the kids, whoever's 18th or 21st birthday, which was at the Hog's Breath Cafe, which was just a stone throw past Caxton Street, more or less almost diagonally opposite the pub. But I was still on the main road. I would have turned down Caxton Street. I can't remember the name of the road I was on. And they were on opposite, they would have been continued just past Caxton Street to get to the Hog's Breath Cafe. And I looked, and they remembered the date because it was this person's 21st or 18th birthday party. And I looked it up and I went, oh my God, that's the night that I was going home. And they went, are you sure about this? There was the second person that said that. I went, yeah, there was these gorgeous, gorgeous twin guys, young, beautiful twin guys. Just reminded me of another time that they worked for me. But anyway, and they were with you. They were just both were. You had your arms interlocked with theirs, and I was like, oh really? And they went, yeah. And they said, and they described them to me, and they described the same thing as the other young kids had said two tall twin guys with blue eyes, black hair, very tall, over 6 foot tall. I'm only 5 foot tall. You'd notice the difference. So when the next time I'm meditating, I say to Source, what was that? Like, what was going on? I mean, I felt a cylinder of light come down. And I went, no, there was two angels that come down. You couldn't see them because it would have scared the shit out of you, but everyone else could see them. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, they've showed up a few times in my life, and I will tell another story about that tomorrow, but that's enough for today. So that's how the blue-eyed twin angels, that's when they first appeared in my life that night. Just breathe for me, please. And that's what can happen when you surrender your life to Source and stop trying to tell God how to suck eggs and just ask for help. Ask for what it is that you want and let it go. I did not know two stunning, young, blue-eyed, dark-haired angels were walking me home. I did know when I asked for help that I would get it, and that's the difference. The next time they showed up and did a major, major miracle in my life, I didn't ask them to show up either, but I will tell that miracle tomorrow. That one's just popped in as another one to remember other than the ones they told me this morning. So just breathe for me, please. Open yourself up to the magnificence of who you truly are. And you can't do that if you're stuck in shoulds and should nots, woulds and would nots, or that's not possible. It is possible. I had lots of people prove it was possible. And the miracle I'll tell you tomorrow is even more blow your mind-ish kind of miracle. So I want to point out also too that I am not clairvoyant. Had I been clairvoyant, I may have seen them, but I am clairaudient, which means that I hear Source clearly. I'm not one of these people who sees spirit. I hear spirit clearly. And then I get feelings and I get knowings and I get all of them, but sight is my last one. I think it's because I came in seeing, and I think it's because it was beating out of me by my well-meaning Catholic mother. I don't know. And I've had moments where I have seen, like when I saw Jeffrey with a J, and I've told that miracle back in the previous 68 or whatever somewhere. And I've had occasion when I've seen, but they've usually been when I've been deeply, deeply, deeply distressed. And I must let the wall down that says I can't see or whatever. So it is something I'm still working on seeing. I'm hoping that it's something will come together in the next week. Well, but it also doesn't matter because I have a pretty profound relationship with Source, with just hearing and knowing and feeling. I just know stuff sometimes. And the only time my life turns to crap is when I don't trust what I hear and see and what I hear and feel and know. Or I let go of it and start doing the human thing and trying to work out how to do everything myself. Alrighty. So we're now just going to do a quick connection to the fifth dimension. If you just bring your awareness back into your breath, let go of anything that brought up through a sigh, out through the mouth. One more. Now, I want you to bring your awareness into your breath coming in through the nose and out through your nose, and bring your awareness into your hands. Next breath in, I want you to breathe in. Breathe up. Point your fingers to the sky and breathe out and tie the energy from your fingertips around the sun. Breathe in and bring all that source light from the sun down through your being. Let it fill every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being, and breathe out through your feet and into the core of Mother Earth. Breathe in. Bring all the energy from Earth back up. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. I am moving my hands up and down as I'm doing this. Breathe in. Draw the energy down from the sun. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% into Earth. Bring all the Earth energy back up. Breathe it out into your body. Take the last 5% up to the sun. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. 95% of that energy from Earth goes into your body, and then take it back up to the sun. And just keep doing that now. Well, I just mentioned a couple of things. Second, as I brought the energy back up from Earth, a big brush of wind and all the trees moved outside. You will get a sign when you are in alignment with the Earth and the sun. That's mine. The wind always comes up. All the birds start chirping. When you come into alignment and your meridian lines are all fully lined up from the center of the Earth to the sun. They used to be thousands of years ago, before religion came in and stuffed everything up. And now most people's meridian lines are screwed up from their head to their toe. Doing this step one will bring you into alignment with the Earth. And all of your miracles are made up of something that comes from Earth. Whether it's money, whether it's a house, whether that could be a brick house, a wood house, a steel house, all of that stuff still comes from Earth. Bringing yourself into alignment will help increase your abundance immensely. And when you're in this place, do that. Just do it for 20 minutes every day. It's best to do it first thing in the morning, standing in a soft morning sun, but you can also do it sitting and imagining you're standing barefoot on Earth. It's best to do, you can do it at night, but you just go to sleep. If you do it in the morning, you get a chance to see how it affects your day. Or if you're really crook, you could do it laying down and imagining you're standing barefoot on Mother Earth. Alrighty. That's our miracle for today. I'm going to send you a 10-second blast of fifth dimension energy. There's so much energy in this, it doesn't matter anyway from my 7 hours of meditating. Sending you so much love, and I really look forward to being with you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.